Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So we're here for day 20 of Dephemberember today. You can find all the information about Dephemberember in my description box below. So today's prompts are Grunge and Snippet strip, and the animal today is the mouse. So let me just jump into it. So I first sort of decided to find a mouse, and I have this cute little book called Mousekin Finds a Friend, and it's just this lovely book that has really sweet, a toad, my favorite animal ever, has lovely little images. It's from 1967, and it has the cutest little mice and lots of other wonderful images in it. I'll just share that with you. I like this one. I think it's really perfect for this project. Probably a couple of the images in here might be kind of perfect. A little mouse nest. So yeah, that is the plan for the mouse portion of this. Then for the snippet strip, so I found this quite a while ago. It is just a great big roll of drywall paper tape, and I've been using it actually for making some of those exact things. So let me grab them. Snippet strips. So here's my little clip of snippet strips that I've made just kind of in my spare time. So, you know, my formula is kind of like using up scraps and then adding focal points and then doing little bits of decorating here and there with like little labels and stickers and word snippets and whatnot. So I'm just going to kind of follow that same thought process. But then we have to add an element of grunge. So I feel like in the journal world, like the majority of grunge comes from like coffee and that kind of thing, because it's really good for grunging things up but not actually being dirty. So like ink and coffee with alcohol and that kind of thing, it's like clean grunge, right? So I'm going to actually use today just a piece of my my long strip of paper here, and I'm going to make a snippet strip with you in my sort of method that I typically use. So I'm going to do one kind of element today. So first I want to horrify and shock you with this, if I can even show it to you. This is my scrap bin. This is like my great big scrap bin. So it's like a great big plastic bin from the dollar store that's just full of everything. So that was me just like showing you my secrets. So hold on. Because clearly I'm dropping everything on the floor too. So yeah, it is full. And it's always full. So I'm just going to grab a handful. I'm trying to grab a handful. Okay, there we go. Okay. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue things down on here, and then I'm going to grunge this up afterward. Glue stick and scraps. So I love making these, and I need to make them more often just because it's a great way to use up scraps, and I need to do that a lot better than I do these days. I don't know where they all come from. I'm honestly not even that bad at like not keeping things. I do not keep every little thing. I believe that anyways in my heart, but who knows, maybe I do. So start with a little bit of 60s yearbook, and then I have some old ledger from like the 1850s, so we'll throw that on there too. It's already quite grungy, as you can see. And then I've got some pretty like strips of paper that were left over from another project, from a digital paper. Oops. I just stood my glue stick on the wrong end. Speaking of grungy. It's okay. This is more leftover digital, but it's actually got kind of a grunginess to it, so I'm going to use it as part of my background here. I honestly think I could sit here making these strips for like a whole day because I love making them. And I also feel this sense of like accomplishment that I've used up scraps. So there's that. Okay, let's find something else. Well, this is from like an old book, an old memoirs book. So let's add this little bit here. I think I kept it just because it was from a very old book. So it felt like it needed to live on. This is some wallpaper. So we're just going to cover this whole surface. It is so cold today. I am so bundled in sweaters. Oh my goodness. It's my last day of work before the holidays, so I'm just like waiting for the day to just be over. I'm so ready for a break. Oh my gosh. I honestly feel, I don't know if it's like we're just all tired right now, but I just honestly, I feel almost like I have a short fuse, except that I'm not like taking it out on anybody. But I feel like in my imagination, I want to, mainly with people that I work with. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not in the mood for this. I'll do this next year. You know, it's just one of those things I think we all go through. You just kind of, you've had enough at the end of the day, right? So that's how I'm definitely feeling. I honestly think that most people I work with are feeling pretty much the same. So, but I'm ready for the holidays, so I'm happy about that. I've got all of my shopping done, and now I've just been doing a ton of work around my house as I am kind of planning to make a bunch of changes in my house. Just looking for the right thing now. What I want to put on here. I'm also discarding things as I go. That's kind of fun. I might use that on there. I just need to find something to put on it. We have a zebra's bum. Here's a nice piece of wallpaper. Let's add that. Okay. Down here. All right, have I covered most of this? Let me see. Got a little bit more to go here. Don't want to cover these guys up too much though. Let me find something skinny like this. That's perfect. We'll cover half their face. And this is scrapbook paper, so I'm going to use a little bit of a heavier glue with it, just to make sure it sticks, because snippet rolls can be a little bit weird if you don't glue everything down well. Okay, so I was thinking of like keeping this as kind of a dynamic shape. Oh, look at that. That might be kind of cool. That's from a die cut. Or maybe, what if I cut around here as so. That could go in one spot, like up here, and hang off a little. This could hang off a little, maybe somewhere else. Maybe here. And then I just want to put something in the middle of that. And I'm going to do that, I think, with this map. I'll just punch a little piece of this map out. Glue that on here. That gives some kind of an interest. So let's ink these. And I'm going to get my black soot because that in itself is grungy. And this is the oxide. So I will ink a little heavy. I'll ink this one as well. This is kind of a weird paper to try to ink though. I also don't want to break it, so I'm just going to kind of be careful if I can. This is me. I'm like always not that careful. All right. Just going to glue here. I just want that to kind of hang off a little bit, but not too much because I don't want it to rip. Okay, let's just let that dry. Then this one is much stronger. So I can glue half of it on. Make sure we're not getting glue everywhere. There we go. Okay, so then what? I think I'm good in terms of like bits on this strip. So what I'm going to do now is just ink the edges of the strip because that will kind of frame this nicely, because you know, whatever I use it for, be it belly bands or what have you, it's going to come together. Oops. I have this big paper clip magnetized here. I tend to bash it every now and then. Alright, so now this is already a little more grungy. And you could go on top and kind of grunge up the center if you wanted a little bit. I don't want to do too much of that. Maybe a little here, but not too much, just a bit. Because we're going to add grunginess in a different way. So then, before I grunge it up too much more, I'm going to add a few more things that are just kind of simple but effective, like little words that aren't specifically relating to anything, just kind of fun, like out of a book. So this one says introduction. Let's look in this same book, see if there's anything else that could be kind of a cool add-in. Not really. This book is depressing, whatever it is about. I don't know. Or boring, or maybe both. Okay, here's one. Actually, literary. Let's add literary. That's a nice word. I'll add that up here. Okay. So now everything is glued. I'll get my icky glue paper out of the way here. Then just kind of make a little bit of space. Clean up the deck a little here. Take these scraps away because I think we're done with them for now. And it does not look at all like I made a single dent in my scrap bin, if you were wondering. Okay. Now we shall bring the grunge. The grunge box, my own personal grunge box that I use for spraying and, you know, artfully destroying things. Okay, so I want to use a bit of Distress Oxide on this, and I've chosen Rustic Wilderness, and I just need to give it a little shake because I forgot to do that beforehand. But it's a good reminder to everyone, shake up your inks and don't use them unless you give them a nice shake. So this is an oxide spray, Distress Oxide spray, so a little goes a long way. And this is the first time I've used this one, so I just have to give it a few test pumps here until we get some ink. And it might be clogged before I've even used it, but what? No, it isn't. It isn't. We're good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I want to do. Then, before I go too much further with this, I'm just going to actually daub on top of it, because I don't want to completely make everything entirely green. I do want it to be a little splattery, but I do want to really grunge this up. So it's going to get very much copied. All right, so see, it's fully soaked now. See that? Fully soaked. So I'm just going to let that kind of hang around a little bit and flip it, move it around. And it's taking on that greeny tinge I wanted. I didn't want it to be like super green so you couldn't see anything underneath it. Like I wanted it to be transparent. So I'm just going to move the box, and then we're going to do a nice lineup here of book pages. Oh, hello butterfly. You're not part of this project. Then, oops. There we go. All right, so now that this has been grunged up, what else would I want to do? Anything else? Maybe just, where's my distress ink? Where is my dauber? I don't know. Okay, let's just use this a little. We'll just be brave. Okay. There. So that's going to give it a little bit more grunge. Now we will dry it. Now normally I would like do this off camera, but I'm going to let you see so that you see how the ink changes as it gets dried. And I don't think it will take too long to dry. And also this heat gun is not that loud. Some of them I know are very loud, but this one's not too bad. Look how nice that is. I'll hold this up in detail for you to see after. I haven't added my mice yet. I know that. I'm just holding off. I wanted to do this first so that I didn't over grunge my little mice, so that they can stand up on this background a bit. And I'll probably cut this into a few pieces, maybe two pieces. And this is also a good time to just kind of press anything down that seems like it needs a little pressing. You can go in and add more glue if needed. So I really like how the brown stamping of that looks. Okay, so then I'll just go to the back. Look at those beautiful colors on the back. This would be a nice bookmark, honestly. It's so pretty on the back. This is why I definitely recommend oxide sprays. I think if I could only afford to buy either oxide or ink, I would choose oxide every time, except I would have vintage photo or another brown ink just for inking edges of things, because I do think the element of ink is valuable for that. Okay, so we're not 100% dry, but I think we're dry enough. So now I'm going to make the decision about how I want to cut this. So I think I will cut one here, and then this I'm going to cut into two. One will be a short little one, and that's okay, and then one will be kind of medium size. So we'll do 3 different sizes here, pieces. Okay. So let's find something out of mouse skin now to add to this. I want that to be like that. And we can decide how the smaller ones will go. I could even make some kind of a dimensional piece with this, like a pocket or something. I feel like I would need one more piece to do that, or I would need to cut this here. Let's think. That. I'm going to try something. So that would be round. Yeah, maybe just like that. Okay, let's add a bit of glue. Should be doing this on a book so as not to be gluing this desk. Okay, that and that, and then this here. This is going to create a fun freeform pocket out of this snippet strip. Okay. All right. So we'll just set that one there and allow it to just do a bit of drawing. Now I will get my mouse skin book here. Oh, and I wanted to do one more thing. Yeah, okay. So now I have this tape. This is also a drywall tape. This is your mesh tape that you use. And I love using this for different things. I will have a video coming out soon. I have to film it still, but I've been planning to film it forever on some fun things to do with this mesh tape. I can never find the beginning. I don't know how this mechanism is supposed to work, but typically I just go in and I just cut under in front of it. Then I pull it from there. Okay, there we go. So then that will help you to kind of get into your tape roll, because this is sticky. And there. So I sort of annihilate the first little bit, as you can tell. Okay. But then I go back and I just kind of fold it, and then I know where my end is. So I'm going to use this, though. I'm not going to completely waste it. I want to grab a little bit of it, this and this. And while I'm working on this, I'm going to just maybe add a couple little bits here of this tape to different areas. So one will go here. And maybe another one here. And then on the other one, I want to tear it. See this cool, these angles that you get? So I'm going to stick that down right on here. Look at that. Isn't that fun? I think, how do I want that to go? Maybe there. Okay. So then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the black, I think, just to get rid of the white, but you'll still have the texture. That's like another kind of grungy element. Okay, so now let's find our mice for this. So I wanted to use the little mouse, this one. First. So we will come in and just snip around him, leaving a little bit of a border. Then I really need to find my brown ink dauber. This is so strange. I can use this one though. It's okay. And I'm just going to ink around the edges here and on this paper that has his tail, just because it makes everything a little more cohesive. And then we just find where we want to put him on here. And I think I'm probably going to lose a little bit of his tail, but I'll probably put him here, maybe like that. Yeah, I like him there like that. Okay. So I won't glue all of his tail, just glue a little bit of it. Alright, we'll set that aside for now. Mouse skin spun around and just caught sight of a mouse's tail. It disappeared into a hollow log. Once again, he chased after the shadowy form. Alright, we don't need that. Now we need to find something for this one. That would be very cute. I'm almost impartial to like not using it though because it's so cute. This is how my brain works. I'm like, I can't use that, it's too cute. But I can. Alright, so let's tear a little closer here. Alrighty, then maybe put that there. So let's move the book out of the way. Just set this down here. Okay, so this is very grungy now, this snippet strip. So I think the only thing that's left that I still would like to do is just add a bit of stitching. So I'm going to go do that. I will return in just a moment and show you the final product. All right, I am all stitched around, and I even added an often forgotten or not considered element of grunginess, and that is old thread bits. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I think they're very grungy. I think the things that I like the most about this technique is that, you know, the background is very multi-layered. There's a lot going on, but it's also cohesive. I love how the drywall tape adds to it. I like the dimension when you pull and it makes all these fun threads. I like that I was able to create a different shape with something that was otherwise just straight, and that I've used these fun threads. And I love the toad. He's such a great friend to the frog. And I like that, you know, there's some really old paper there, and I was able to use up scraps. So that is my project for today. I hope you had fun. I definitely did. And I will be here again tomorrow for day 21. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.